We will wait 2 more minutes, then we will start class. Let's begin. Good evening, everyone. Yesterday, we tried to understand the concept called religion, how it is being studied by the sociologists, by the anthropologists, by the psychologists. So today, we will try to make more clear about the classical sociological approaches given by Marx, Weber and Durkheim regarding the concept called religion. As I have already told you, yesterday I gave a glimpse of classical sociological thinkers while discussing about the sociological approaches to religion. Today, we will make it more clear how we can study religion and by which means we can study or what should be the proper way of studying religion and the relationship of religion with society. Not only society, but all aspects of the society concerned. So let's begin with today's class. The first section that I will be dealing with about Karl Marx's opinion on religion. Yesterday I told you that Marx was against religion. He argued it was a opium of masses. So let's clarify what does he mean by saying opium of masses. So Marxian social thought and Marxian theory. Marxian social thought means all the things based on Marx ideology. So Marxian social thought and Marxian theory is exclusively based on the production of material objects in this society. Why? Marx, throughout his career, tried to understand how the material condition of social life is responsible to bring about or how the material condition influence the social life of human being. So, for survival of human beings, produce and produced food and material objects, and for doing so the individual enter into social relationship with each other, making the process of production a social enterprise. What does that mean? He argued, we need to survive. For survival, we need food, we need other things also. So, someone will produce that food or other things that we need for survival or for our enjoyment, anything. So, those things are called as material things, are produced by someone, and we are there to enjoy those products. So, if someone is producing that product, then definitely a number of people, a number of machineries are involved in the process of production. So, according to Marx, there are two things in the mode of production of a product. Those two things are the forces of production and the relations of production. What is forces of production? Forces of production refers to the technical components of production. For example, if I am producing a pen, I need the cap, the nib, the refill, the pocket, and everything else needed for producing that pen. So, that pen, what I am buying from the market, is produced in a complex manner. Someone is involved in producing the nib, someone is involved in producing the refill, and someone is producing the body of that pen, and someone is inserting ink to the refill, all those things. Then it is given to the market for selling purpose. So, the process of making that pen, there are some sorts of technical involvement in the production process. Those technical involvements are called as forces of productions. So, we have technology, raw materials, scientific knowledge as the forces of production. So, what is the forces of production? Forces of production means technical components needed for production. Then what is relations of production? Who will produce that product? Of course, some people will be involved in producing that product. No doubt there are robots also, but people are there to operate those robots, computers and machines. So, the relations of production basically refers to the social relationship between the people engaged in the process of production. The owner of the product, the laborers, and the market or the buyers. There is a complex relationship in between the producer, the workers, and the buyers. So, the process of this relationship is called as the relations of production. So, according to Marx, mode of production comprises of forces of production and relations of production. So, according to Marx, these two components needed for production are known as the base structure or the infrastructure. So, what he is saying that forces of production comprises of modes of production, comprises of forces of production and relations of production. Both forces of production and relations of production are the structure. What we find in the societal level is the superstructure. What is structure here is known as infrastructure of the society, and the everything else in the society we found related to the mode of production. Those are the institutions, values, belief systems which make into superstructure of the society. For example, you must have heard about the concept known as McDonaldization. What is McDonaldization? McDonald is an entrepreneur who is famous for his fast food chains. He has a certain ethos, he has a certain rule, he has a certain market policy. So those rules, ethos, policies, they constitute the product named as McDonald. And you people prefer to have McDonald products like pizza, burger, cold drinks in restaurants run by McDonald itself. So it is a chain to attract people towards McDonald. It is a chain, talks about your capitalist system. So when it is a product, it refers to this structure, but when it represents the capitalistic system, it represents the superstructure. So by structure, we mean infrastructure. Infrastructure consists of forces of production, relations of production. But by superstructure, we are talking about the societal aspects found in a broader sense that consists of the ethos, religion, value system, and belief system of that company or the superstructure. So that superstructure represents the capitalist system. So according to Marx, in the historical approaches, if we will talk about the historical aspect of the society, we will find there is a contradiction in the society in between the forces of production and relations of production. For example, you will find someone is owner and other one is the laborer who are engaged in producing a product on behalf of the owner of the product or the entrepreneur. So the superstructure in all historical society is derived largely from the Marxian theory of infrastructure and therefore reproduces the relations of production. For example, when we are talking about a capitalist society, we are talking about the relationship between an entrepreneur and the people engaged in the entrepreneurial society for production of food or product. So the superstructure in all historical society derives largely from the relations of production. So according to Marxian notion of religion, we try to understand how the sense of superstructure and superstructure, modes of production, relations of productions, all these are categorically utilized for talking about the notion of religion, though Marx has not clearly mentioned or has not written anything, just like a book he wrote about capitalism. However, he has mentioned about the concept religion in many of his writings. So when we try to understand the Marxian concepts of religion, we basically try to analyze his writings from many writings of his own. So, just a minute. So, when we are talking about the Marxian notion of religion, we should keep in mind that religion is any other social institution where dependence on material and economic realities are given in society. He argued that relation in society actually found on the basis of modes of production and relations of production. So he is arguing again that religion is just linked to that. For him, the religious world is what the reflex of the real world. That means what type of capitalist society or what type of society we are finding or we are experiencing represented as true figure of this society, that is the real world. His connectedness with the social purpose of religion and not the religious doctrine of the religious belief as such. He argued that what religious belief is all about, that is not the matter of concern. Rather, what is the purpose of religion in a society? He is not talking about the belief system just like your anthropologist. He is talking about the purpose of religion. What the purpose this religion as a concept or a social concept talking about? What is the necessary of that concept, or what is the need for the concept called religion? So in Marx's opinion, religion is an illusion that provides reason and excuses to keep society functioning as just it is. That means he is saying this religion is an illusion. It has nothing in reality. Rather, it put people in a hallucination of reward in the next life. So he is saying religion is an illusion. He is trying to talk about the various aspects of religion. Religion as an irrational aspect, how religion alienates, how religion is hypocritical. He is criticizing religion. He is saying that religion as a concept is very much irrational. What is rational then? Rational talks about your logic, your science, your observation, your experimentation. You won't believe, you won't accept anything as it is given, but religion forces you to accept what it has written in its those religious books. So it is irrational. There is no scientific proof of those written things or rules and regulations prescribed in those religious scriptures. So he is saying it makes a delusion and a worship of appearance that avoids recognizing underlying reality. Whether people are suffering or not, religion is not looking at. It only describes you, it only guides you to follow its scriptures, its rules and regulations. Then he is saying it alienates. What is alienation? Alienation means going away from something you are attached to. Sometimes you are alienated from yourself, sometimes you are alienated from your work, sometimes you are alienated from the society, sometimes you are alienated from the product. Alienated means going away. For example, if I will continue on teaching the same subject for more than some years without any changes, then definitely I will lose interest in teaching that subject. This is alienation, because I am accustomed in teaching in that manner and fed up. So, alienation talks about going away from something. So, he is arguing that religion is putting you in an illusion where people from their highest ideals and aspirations and projects them to an alien and an unknown being called God. For example, he is saying, who is God? I have not seen, but I think someone is there, and according to his wish, I am doing all these things. I think if I will go on doing or following that religious dogmas, religious scriptures, then definitely I will be avoided. So it is an illusion. And that alien thing, something different, which I have not seen, is putting me in an illusion. It negates all that is dignified in a human being by rendering them servile and more amenable to acceptable the status quo. For example, no doubt I am following the God, but if I am not getting benefit out of my prayer, then why should I follow God? He is alien one. I have not seen him, but I think someone is there to guide me, someone is there to help me. But unfortunately, in spite of my hard work, in spite of my sufferings, in spite of my prayer, I am not getting benefit. So I am alienating from this world. because of that alien. Then he is saying it is hypocritical. That means it professes valuable principles. It explains principles. It sides with the oppressor. For example, it is meant for the oppressed to follow the rules, just like in the modes of production. In the modes of production, what happened? In the modes of production, the entrepreneur forces the laborer to produce products not at their wish, but at the wish of the entrepreneur. In the same manner, religion also forces the believer. Religion also forces the believer to act accordingly, not at his own wish, but according to the descriptions or the rules given or written in the religious scripture. So, it is, according to Marx, religion is very much related to the oppressors or the sufferers. So, for example, he argued Jesus advocated helping the poor. For example, as he belonged to a Christian community, he had given the example of Jesus. He argued that Jesus advocated helping the poor, but the Christian church merged with the oppressive Roman state. For example, he is saying that those religions or the preachers of those religions, what they are saying, definitely they are putting the voice of the rulers. For example, your church will dictate, and that dictations will be put into law by the rulers, and who will follow them? Not the higher class people, but the lower class people, and those who are engaged with the rulers and those who are engaged with that monarchy or ruler and the churches, they usually enjoy the benefit, but those who have not the means of production, those who are laborers, those who are suffering, they have to follow that dictation accompanied by the church and the rulers. So it is very much hypocritical. That means those who are engaged in the higher position, they are enjoying all, and those who are in the lowest position, they are put in an illusion that they are here to work hard, and if they will work hard and serve the upper class, then definitely in the next birth they will get rewards. This is an illusion. This is an hypocrite. They are making you, they are fooling you in an illusion process. So Marx says that religion is meant to create illusionary fantasies for the poor. It is opiate-based drug. It is just like an opiate-based drugs. Yesterday I told you that a hard worker, a laborer, throughout his work in daytimes wants to get out of his sufferings or tiredness by consuming liquor or opium. But that consuming of liquor or opium gives that labor some pleasant moment of peace for a particular time. But that laborer is unaware about the side effects of those products. So, just like those alcohols, opiums, religion is a part that put you in an hallucination. It prevents you from knowing the reality attached to you, how you are suffering, who are there to exercise power over you. So, religion not only legitimizes oppression, but also acts as an instrument of that oppression. That means it not only legitimizes oppression through the dictations in religious scriptures, but it is an instrument for oppression used by the rulers or the higher class people. engaged in the process. So it acts as a mechanism of social control, maintaining the existing social system where the class system exists. For example, some will enjoy the benefit, and those who are of working class or lower class, they are bound to work and suffer. So religion is a mechanism of social control, maintaining the existing disparity, existing hierarchy in the society. Pain would be healed only if one solved the underlying causes of pain. For example, if you are suffering from fever, then definitely you will visit the doctor for a consultation to get relief from fever. That doctor will make analysis, that doctor will thoroughly examine you and describe the real cause and describe medicine accordingly. But what if you are not there, you have no money, you are very poor, you have no option to consult a doctor, then what will you do? Definitely you want to understand the reason behind your disease. You will suffer. And Marx is saying that religion does not fix the underlying causes of people's pain and suffering. Instead, it helps them forget why they are suffering. For example, if you think being a poor, you have no money and you are unable to consult a doctor in the market, hence you should suffer. This is an illusion. Just like religion, you will say, I will pray to God, He will save me from my fever. Marx argued, God is not there to save. Who is He or she? God is alien, and you are in an illusion. The society forces you to suffer because you are poor, you have no money. So he hopes human will create a society in which the economic condition causing so much of pain and suffering would be eradicated. So he is expecting, he is arguing that a time will come when the class system will collapse and religion will lose its ground. So this is the basic idea about religion as explained by Karl Marx. So let's try to understand some other aspects typically involved to Marxian notion of religion. So he is saying religion is a dominant ideology. So what he is saying in his book German Ideology, Marx regarded ideology as a system of misleading or illusionary ideas. For example, I am saying that I am representing the minorities. I have a certain ideology. I am saying that minorities in India are suffering a lot, and my party is there for the upliftment, empowerment of the minorities. What are those things? Upliftment, empowerment. My party will empower them, uplift them. I am giving an ideology. This ideology misleads the minorities. It puts them in an illusion.
Yes, sir.
Yes? For example, there is a party called AIMIM. Yes? Any question? Someone is asking something? Okay. So there is a party called AIMIM. What does that party represent? It represents the voice of the Muslims. It mentions that Muslims are ill-treated by Congress, ill-treated by the leftist, ill-treated by the rightist. And it is the only party that can help the Muslims and that can identify the Muslims as certain new identity. That means people will attract to the party of that particular ideology. That means those Muslims will be attracted towards AIMIM. Whether AIMIM is working for them or not, that is something else. But who is getting benefit? The Oasis brothers. They are getting huge amount of money as a party fund. They are utilizing it for their capitalist investment, for their wealth accumulation, all those things. But those followers of his party, they think that those Oasis brothers will help them to make an identity of their own. This is a misleading and illusionary concept according to Marx. He is saying religion will put you in a misleading or illusionary world. It is, so according to him, ideology is sometimes illusionary and non-verifiable. That means you cannot verify whether that ideology is correct or not. So, according to him, ideology is of two types: negative ideology. The second one is restricted ideology. Negative ideology involves distortion, a misrepresentation of contradictions. That means negative ideology will perish you, will put you in suffering always. If you think that my God has told me to do this, irrespective of the reasons, irrespective of the scientific inquiries, you are saying, I am there, I am suffering, my God will say. This is a negative ideology of that religion. What is the restricted one? It does not cover all kinds of error and distortion. For example, if you are following a particular religion, there are the certain rules and regulations prescribed by the religious preachers, religious books, and you are not there to verify whether what are written in those religious books are correct or not. You don't know anything. So what will you do? You will follow. If someone will say the earth is constant and sun revolves around according to a particular religion, then definitely the followers of that religion will follow that. Someone will say earth is not round because of that religious scripture. So what does that mean? That means that religion is giving you some false ideas. So according to Marx, these are the restricted concept of ideology, and we should go away from those things. So he is arguing how religion is coming out of that ideology, in German ideology, criticizing Feuerbach, a philosopher for whom religion is just an illusion. He explained the social and political origin of religious ideology. For Marx, not only it is true that religion is an illusion, but there are other reasons behind the origin of the concept called religion. Those reasons representing a particular type of ideology, such as political ideology. So for Marx, humanity or man is not uniform at all times of societal development. For example, you look at your fingers, you look at your palm. You look at your palm, no 5 fingers are equal, but every finger has certain functions. So Marx is saying that no doubt it is true that in the process of development, the whole society, whole parts of the society are playing certain rules, but those parts are not uniform at all. There are different sorts of men existed at different times and places. Men for him are social beings whose nature changes with the sort of life they lead. For example, you are a school teacher, but in due course of time, you qualified state selection board and promoted to a lecturer. So the status of here is changing. from a school teacher to a lecturer. During your position as a school teacher, what you were enjoying, how you were behaving with people changes when you become a lecturer. So, according to Marx, man is very much changing his nature according to the societal condition. So, the division of labor lead to class division, and different times different classes have dominated the world, and the dominating classes represents the dominating ideology of the society, and those who are suffering or who are putting in the lower ladder of the society, they are obliged to follow. Let's talk about Emil Durkheim. I think you have understood Marxian victim. Just keep in mind that according to Marx, religion is an illusion, and it is illusion because of a particular ideology, that is political ideology, and that ideology is a product of the class system in the society. And what is that class system? It is related to the modes of production, forces of production and relations of production. Out of that, class system comes into existence. So let's talk about Emil Durkheim. Durkheim was a leading French sociologist who, in his book The Elementary Forms of Religious Life, developed his sociological theory on religion. So, according to Durkheim, social existence of man determines their social consciousness. For example, if I am living in an elite society, definitely my way of looking at people, just a minute, my way of looking at people will be different. If I will belong to a poor society, definitely my way of looking at people will be different. So, I am acting as an agent of the particular society I take part. So, he investigated the role of religion in keeping society together. That means he is trying to understand why religion is an essential part of the society. For him, it is religion that binds the people together. So, according to him, religion is a group phenomenon for its group. That means I am obeying, I am following the rules and regulations of my religion to which I belong to. It is a group phenomenon. It gives me some sorts of feeling that he is my brother according to my religion, he is my sister according to my religion. So I say I am a Hindu, he is my Hindu brother, he is my Hindu sister. This gives a group phenomenon of cohesion. Cohesion means solidarity. It unite the society. That means it unite those people who are following a particular religion. So according to Durkheimian view, religion has certain function in the society. So Durkheimian notion of religion is put under the category named functionalism or the functionalist theory. According to the functionalist theory as developed by Durkheim, it is known that that social structure are studied in terms of its function for fulfilling the biological or individual needs. For example, he is saying the whole people are guided by the society they are a part of. That means I am not constituting the society. Rather, I am, as taking birth to the society, has to follow those rules and regulations described by the society, and it is important. So according to him, the whole is not the sum total of parts. For him, society represents the whole, and the people living in that society, the customs, the traditions, those folklores, rules, regulation, all are the parts of that society. Durkheim argued, no, society regulates all those things and those parts are there to follow the society. So according to him, if I am saying he is a rich, I am not looking at whether he is a rich, but I am saying he is a rich because he is living in the condition of a rich society. For example, we have a basic notion that Western people are rich in comparison to the India. What does that mean? Usually not all Western people are rich, but we have a conception that the Western society is more developed technically, scientifically, socially. So we think those who are living in the Western society are rich enough in comparison to those who are living in third world countries. So according to Marx, according to Durkheim, this feeling is because a society is important, not the parts. So he is saying the parts are there to follow the societal rules and regulations. So according to him, structure are very important and structures constitute or structures follow the whole or the society regulates its member. So he is giving this notion to understand how he can understand the role of religion or the functions of religion in society. According to him, the functionalistic perspectives of the functions of religion can be categorized in the following manner. It is a social institution. For him, religion is a social institution. He argued that religion is having certain functions for the society. It meets the functional prerequisites for the needs of the society, such as social solidarity, value consensus, harmony, and integration. Then what does that mean? According to Durkheim, the religion has certain social functions. That means it has certain duties for the society. It binds the people. It gives you a solidarity, social solidarity. It gives you a value consensus. You make judgment on the basis of your religious beliefs. You make judgments on the basis of your religious beliefs. So that is value consensus. Harmony. It binds the people together without any problem. It puts a feeling of oneness. So it gives people the feeling of having something in common with others in the society. He explored the functional role of religion in society, and he argued that in his fieldwork among the Orunta tribes of Australia, he found it is the totem which binds the people together. What is that totem? Yesterday I told you that was an emblem that represents that the followers of that totem are the offspring or the descendants of that totem, and that feeling gives them an unity in the society. According to Durkheim, this totemic religion among the Orunta tribes of Australia is the source of religion in the society. So, religious phenomena are communal rather than individual. It is a community concern. It is not individual concern. Religion is there because members of the collectivities follow that. Religion is an expression of social cohesion, and religion is very rare. It is an expression of our collective consciousness, which is the fusion of our individual connection, which then creates a reality of its own. He is argued society is sui generis, society is there. Accordingly, people put their voices together and come to a conclusion, and that is the fact that people are following. So, these are the things that Durkheim has argued. Let's move to your Max Weber. What he is saying? Max Weber is saying religion is something that is very comprehensive and scientific It represents the social action of the people. It represents the people's behavior. It represents how people of a particular religion are behaving with others. Why all people are not equal, why some people are very progressive, some people are less progressive. So in his book, The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism, he examines the relationship between the rise of certain forms of Protestantism and development of Western industrial capitalism. Yesterday I told you that Protestantism represents a Calvinist thinking where people think that God has given equal chances to everyone, and we are taking birth in the earth to work hard, not to enjoy the world. Rather, we should accumulate more and more wealth, and the accumulation of wealth is only possible if we will work hard. So this is the Calvinist behavior, Calvinistic thinking. It is a call for the society. It says, you are here, you should work. If you won't work, then you will perish. This is the Calvinist thinking. Here I have given the spirit of capitalism, that means how Calvinism is working for many types of ascetic Protestantism, where he talks about Calvinism, Methodism, Pietism, and Papism. But our concern was Calvinism, and I have told you what is Calvinism. So Max Weber is saying, because of the Calvinistic thinking of working hard and minimizing enjoyment is the root of Western emergence of capitalism. So Western capitalism, where Calvinism is prevalent, Western capitalism took very fast route towards development, and where there is Catholicism or comparing the world religions like Hinduism, there are some sorts of ethos, religious ethos, which are a barrier towards economic development. That does not mean that there were not any economic development, but that sense of economic development talks about suffering, but this modern sense or the Calvinistic sense of economic development gives an opportunity. If I am earning more, then definitely I will distribute the bonus among my workers. This is the Calvinist thought. So throughout his book, he is saying that Calvinism is the real religion. So according to Weber, if we will compare the Indian society, we will definitely find the Jainism is something like Calvinism, where people are thinking that they are here not to enjoy, but follow rigorous work, follow rigorous hardness, so that they can accumulate more and more wealth. So this is the notion of Weberian concept of Calvinism. That is the calling appropriate a different meaning with the Protestant theology. So for him, Protestantism is the best religion in the world. Because of Protestantism, West is so developed. So this is about those concepts on religion as explained by Weber. Thank you. So tomorrow we will study the third block. I will share the PPT right now. Nothing to worry, everything is explained in that. You can follow it, just try to listen me, you can understand properly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.